large French IT firms, and they face the accusation of complicity in acts of torture. Why? Well, because they allegedly provided intelligence equipment to both Bashar al-Assad's Syrian regime and the ousted dictator of Muammar Gaddafi in Libya. Now, 2 NGOs are taking them to court for it. Well, France 24's Alexandra has met a former Cosmos employee who opens the lid on the company's activities. Here's her report with commentary from Joe Tandy.
Irishman James Dunn has lived in Paris for over 2 decades. 6 months ago, he was still working for Cosmos, a French software company that created spy gear capable of intercepting, scanning and cataloguing virtually every email that flows through a given country. The equipment was sold by another French firm, Amasis, to the late Libyan dictator Muammar Gaddafi. Human rights groups say the equipment helped to target, arrest, jail and torture opponents of the Gaddafi regime. For many years, James's job was to write the instruction manuals without knowing who was buying the goods.
When I learned during the Arab Spring that some documents I had personally written were found in Tripoli, Libya, just imagine how I felt. It wasn't good. It really unsettled me.
Hired in 2005 by Cosmos Research and Development Department, James quickly took charge of producing technical manuals. He says Cosmos employees know they're working on intercepting and analysing data in real time, yet they don't know their clients' names or the level of defence classification of files they handle.
In May 2009, they installed heat and movement detectors outside each and every window of the company's building. All the windows were shielded, bulletproof. There was also an armored door and surveillance cameras filming us 24/7. And at that moment, I felt that things were wrong, something was fishy.
James soon began voicing his ethical concerns to colleagues. He even sent an email to the company's CEO who sought to reassure him that the work was completely legal. Yet, during the Arab Spring 2 years later, his doubts resurfaced. In an article posted on Facebook, he questioned the use of digital technology as a weapon of war.
I posted that on the 22nd of February 2011 in the evening. The next day, when I got to work, the communications director at Cosmos told me I shouldn't be posting such comments on the internet. At that time, I didn't know we were already supplying the Libyan and Syrian regimes. That afternoon at 3 p.m., the company held a large meeting, saying that me, the employee who's posting things on the web, I was definitely not some role model to be followed by anyone.
In March 2011, Cosmos CEO Thibault Bechtoil was invited on a web television show. Once again, his company's business ethics were called into question.
Do you take the full responsibility for the way your systems end up being used?
We are careful, both at a technical and contractual level. We make sure that our work is ethical and that our systems are used in a legal framework.
In August 2011, the story broke. French firms had sold services to dictatorships. These photos, published by the Wall Street Journal, show a phone-tapping centre set up in Libya by Amasis. There, opposition figures and journalists were identified and listed. Human rights groups in Paris have met people tortured by the Gaddafi regime. The Libyan dissidents say they were shown the emails, text messages and online chats used as proof of treason. Those documents were stamped Amasis.
When a company like Amasis or Cosmos signs a contract with countries like Syria and Libya, they know which country they're dealing with and what material they're supplying them with. This system is used to monitor opponents, arrest them and torture them. These companies are accomplices of these dictatorships.
So far, the International Federation for Human Rights have filed 2 lawsuits against the French firms Cosmos and Amazis.
I have no desire to see Cosmos being incriminated or harmed in any way. But on the other hand, I want the sale of such softwares to be restricted. I want to make sure that such technology cannot be sold to dictatorships, and that France will regulate the sale and the use of such products.
James Dunn has appealed against his firing in December 2012 for serious misconduct. The Irishman had posted comments on a French news website explaining how Cosmos and Amazis help dictators to track down their opponents.